Taming the Demon by Almilevskiro. Chapter 15, to max devil power. Upon entrance to the casino, Hiruma immediately navigated his way to the blackjack table. Counting cards was a piece of cake for him, and it had the added bonus of being within sight of the roulette stand that Sena and the monkey had taken up residence at. The pair had been doing rather well by betting on black or red, and it appeared that the running bag had been the one making the decisions. The blonde figured Demon to be the gambler in Sena, as he used his intuition and guts more than the other two sides. Roulette was a game of luck and chance, so Demon would be the most useful. Then the monkey bet all their earnings on the number 21 and completely lost. Typical moron. They had to visit a few casinos to earn enough to both pay off the drunk's debt and buy plane tickets back to Japan for them all. In the end, the quarterback made the most. No surprises there. But the small brunettes also had a decent contribution. He had stuck with the roulette tables, but the logical ice shield had made Demon start betting half the winnings each time instead of all of them. Just in case the monkey had some other stupid idea, they wouldn't lose everything this time. At long last, it was time to go home. The fall tournament was about to begin. As the semester kicked off, Hiruma started by getting Doboroku actually employed by the school. His salary would be transferred into the Amafuto Club funds account. He owed the quarterback for paying off his debts, poor man. The blonde also needed to get Taki set up to take and pass the mid-year entrance exam. Getting a recording of the manager in the cheerleader's outfit was a lovely little piece of blackmail. Thank you, Suzuna. The practice that would determine the regular players commenced. Everybody had improved immensely, but in the end, you took the best you could get and didn't settle for anything less. Yukimitsu took his loss gracefully and didn't make a scene. Now, if only the manager would stop being so emotional about it. The team got to work on memorizing strategies and practicing formations, and soon it was Saturday. The autumn tournament started in 24 hours, and the fat ass turned tail and fled. Of course, he didn't go far. Kurita was a creature of habit, and Hiruma had known him for a few years now. So while everyone else was scouring local restaurants, bakeries, and football stadiums, the blonde headed straight for the gym's storage room. The fatty had been nervous all week, so by now it would have reached a breaking point. Yep, the fat ass had somehow managed to stuff himself inside the vaulting horse. The whole thing was shaking from his nerves. The quarterback shot at him for his whining and found the whole fiasco a waste of time and ammunition until the round shit in the box wanted to look at the TV in their old classroom. The one that the Mao trio had signed when they promised to go for the Christmas bowl. There was a lot more than 3 signatures. It felt like the day they all crossed the do-or-die line all over again. The captain was reminded that they were a team now, not just 2 athletes and a bunch of warm bodies. They were the Devil Bats. The captain also wondered which persona signed to Sena's name. Looked like Harry Potter font. After rounding up the others and dragging them all down to the Tokyo Stadium, the blonde drove the point home to himself and the others that they were a team and they were going to win. They were going to win the Christmas Bowl. Everyone was running high on energy the next day. Damon greeted her cocky and overdone opponents. Munakata was a flat-out ass. The teams lined up. The heck did Sakuraba do to his hair? The board chairman of the American Football League gave his speech. The games began. The shrimp followed the idiots onto a bus into Nagano. Of course, the team practically fell apart at the seams when they found out their ace player wouldn't be present for most of the opening match, even with Zokugaku going to pick him up. Hiruma had to do some serious rallying to keep them together, even with the help of Jimonichi talking to his boys and Suzuna's leading the American cheerleaders. Damon still gave up that first touchdown because the line couldn't hold it together. This, in the end, didn't matter because they took back that touchdown and had the pleasure of watching Munakata's mechanical grin suffer a serious malfunction. Just as Amino started viciously marking Manta, the star of the show, made his entry. The kid was knocked off Habashira's bike so hard he flew 10 feet in the air and should have broken his neck landing. The efficiency in the way he touched the ground was all eye shield. As the play began again, Hiruma had them using the sweep maneuver, and Sena obliterated Munakata. It was over in an instant, and Amino didn't stand a chance. The rest of the match carried on in a similar fashion until the final score amounted to 38-8 in Damon's favor. The next day, the blonde had to blow up the monkey and the brat for plotting nonsense in regards to Musashi. They seemed relatively unsurprised to find an underground weaponry hold on school property, though, which showed that they at least recognized their captain for the complete lunatic that he was. The old man got them back on track and thinking about the tournament, and Hiruma brought up the fact that the idiot still wasn't an official Damon student yet. As it turns out, Taki was a lot like Kurita. If American football is involved, he has a much higher success rate. He barely passed the exam, but Hiruma didn't have to lift a finger to get him into the school and on the team. When told that their chances of beating the Yuhi Guts was 99%, the idiots practically started celebrating right then and there. Being used to being the underdog in any given situation, the quarterback quickly brought them all down a notch. They hadn't won yet. Game day kicked off with a pleasant surprise that all the major competition was playing on the same field. Yuhi's captain, Atsumi, paid attention to his opponents, it turned out. He knew the blonde strategist was out to shake them up before he even acknowledged the second year's presence. Hiruma could kind of respect him for that. However, the blonde's attention was quickly focused on Ojo's performance in the first match of the day. Demon also stuck his head out for the first time in a while. The quarterback had forgotten that Demon had a weird fixation with tearing down strong opponents like Shen. The moment he laid eyes on the linebacker, he went quiet, a strange, almost predatory smile on his face. How was nobody else noticing this? Demon could pinpoint the difference between the spear tackle and the new and improved trident tackle with ease, even if he couldn't articulate them. As he stared at the linebacker and the linebacker stared back, Hiruma felt a possessive kind of irritation crawl up his spine and sink into his muscles. He felt better when the brat refocused on the match against Yuhi. Except Yuhi was sitting on the bench while random athletes came onto the field.